Well, welcome one and all to our Sunday service. And we will go ahead and get started. I'll go ahead and mute folks so that we can hear our opening hymn, which is number 298, Wake Now My Senses. As we often do, I will be placing the words in the chat bar so that you can sing along if you feel so moved. Oops. I will be if I can hit copy and paste correctly. I'm so sorry, folks. Let's just take a moment to breathe and enjoy a meditative moment while my computer reopens that page. Thank you all so much for being on time. My computer is being special today. All right. Well, with many thanks for your patience, we will now start our opening hymn, Wake Now My Senses. And the words are in your chat bar.
Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all. Keep with the web of creation your vow. Giving, receiving as love shows us how. Wake now my reason, reach out to the new. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the true. Honor the beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer thy limit and praise the sublime. Wake now compassion, give heed to the cry. Voices of suffering fill the wide sky. Take as your neighbor both stranger and friend, praying and striving their hardship to end. Wake now my conscience, with justice thy guide. Join with all people whose rights are denied. Take not for granted a privileged place. God's love embraces the whole human race. Wake now my vision of ministry clear. Brighten my pathway with radiant here. Mingle my calling with all who will share. Work toward a planet transformed by our care.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Indiana, Pennsylvania. I'm Elizabeth Mount. I am so happy to be welcoming you here to our online space. And on behalf of the entire congregation, I want to thank you for tuning in. If you are joining us for the first time, we welcome you and hope that you will subscribe as well to our YouTube channel. Pastor Elizabeth Mount on YouTube is where we are, and you can find archived videos of past worship services, as well as a smattering of guided meditations, poetry, stories for all ages, even a song or two. As you are here with us, we invite you to keep your camera on if you're comfortable. For many of us, seeing one another's faces is an important piece of building community. And so if you're able to leave that on and enjoy community with one another through the visual medium, we appreciate it. On Zoom, you'll also see a little speech bubble. It's right in the middle of your toolbar below the video screen labeled chat. You can use that feature for our greetings, our joys and concerns, and our chalice lighting during the service. The First UU Church of Indiana, Pennsylvania is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association. We are self-governing congregations united in a web of mutuality that create our denomination. We have neither creed nor doctrine, but teach that individuals have the right and the responsibility to discern and follow their own spiritual path. We come together each week to support and assist each other on our journeys and to build the beloved community together. You are invited to stay after the service for conversation and coffee if you bring it. I'll open up the microphones for our coffee hour and folks can check in about how they're feeling and what's on your minds. And now, let me invite you to take a breath and settle yourself into a spirit of worship. Our call to worship is by Lori Halaban. It's called a meditation for the equinox. Pause, balanced in the center between the longest and shortest days. Equinox, the wheel of the year turns and turns again. The air cools, days shorten. The very sun seems to weaken, barely clearing the horizon after rising before beginning its descent. This is our opportunity now to pause, balanced, breathing in, breathing out, knowing this present moment. This present moment is all we are guaranteed. Like the sun moving toward the shortest day, each moment arises and is gone before we know it. This is the time to pause and consider. As we enter the season of contemplation, of increasing darkness, of lying fallow, of dormancy, this is the season of letting go, of lightening burdens, of preparing for a long period of being still, going deep. Pause, breathe in, breathe out. Our chalice lighting words are by Jaime de Marcos, a leader of the Unitarian Church in Barcelona, Spain. He writes, "In this solemn moment, when voices subside, when silence can be heard, we light this chalice for all who preceded us, and also for those who will follow us. We light the chalice for those who made possible that we are here today, because in spite of their failings and limitations, a dream moved them to light a chalice just as we are doing. And for those who will burn a flame when we are no longer, when they renew this light full of hope and enthusiasm, may we always remember." And let us read together the final words. "This light shines for all of them, for those who came before, and for those who will come later, and for us who are living in between, linking past and future together." If you have a chalice, you are welcome to light it now. If you are lighting your chalice in reality or in spirit, please feel welcome to type in your chat bar where you are lighting that flame from. And you may join me in our opening hymn, Spirit of Life. This recording comes from All Souls. Our time for all ages is called Maybe, Maybe Not. It's a traditional Chinese folk tale. And it goes a bit like this. Once, long ago, in a small village, there lived a farmer, and he had just one horse. One day, as he was getting ready to put his horse in the barn, it broke its tether, and the horse ran away. The other people of the village told the farmer, "Oh, what a terrible thing that has happened. It is just awful that your horse has run away." And the farmer said with a shrug of his shoulders, "Maybe so, or maybe no. Who can tell?" Well, it wasn't but a day later when the horse came back. Not only did the horse come back, but the horse brought an entire herd of horses along with it. And they all crowded into the farmer's barn, necessitating an addition to the space. All of the townspeople said, "My goodness, your horse has gone from being one horse to 10 horses. What marvelous luck!" But the farmer, with a shrug of his shoulders, said, "Maybe so, maybe no. Who can tell?" Well, it wasn't long after that, as the farmer's son was helping the farmer to break those horses so that they would be ready to help plow and expand the farm. Well, he tried to get up on one of those horses to ride it and fell right off, breaking his leg. And the people of the village said, "What terrible luck! Your son has broken his leg and cannot help you with the farm at all." And the farmer, as you might guess, just shrugged his shoulders and said, "Maybe so, maybe no, but who can tell?" Well, as you might guess, another unexpected thing happened in this very exciting village. The army marched through town. And as the army stopped, they looked around and they gathered up every able-bodied young person in the village and made them join the army that very day. But the farmer's son could not go because he was still on crutches with a broken leg. And all the people of the village, when the army had gone, said, "What amazing luck! You still have your son, and all of ours are far away." And the farmer said, "Maybe so, and maybe no. Who can tell?" Well, this story in different versions goes on, and there are great things that happen and terrible things that happen, and on and on. This farmer's life is exciting and topsy-turvy in so many different ways, depending on which version you read. There might be treasures found by the army causing jealousy in the ranks. There might be a beautiful girl who the son falls in love with, who sickens and maybe dies. But on and on the farmer's life goes, with everything leading to another thing, some good, some bad, some unexpected. And what we all can say to our first impulses about whether the next thing is a great thing or an awful thing is maybe so, maybe no, but who can tell? So it is with the farmer's life and with our own. And now we come to the time in our service when we traditionally greet one another. Unlike the farmer, we do not wish each other an exciting life. We wish peace be with you. Blessed be, shalom, or bright blessings. You are welcome at this time to type a short blessing for one another in the chat bar. And may we just take a moment to appreciate all of the faces of those who are with us today. Some of you are here nearly every week. Some of you make it just once in a while. But all of your presence forms the body of this congregation. So blessed be, one and all. May peace be with you. Today, our UU moment is about covenant. For we as Unitarian Universalists are a promise-making and promise-breaking and promise-restoring people. Tandy Rogers, a congregational life specialist with the Pacific Western region of the Unitarian Universalist Association, says it this way: we are a people of covenant. We practice covenant. And I say practice because do we ever perfect it? No. Those mistakes, those steps away from right relations are actually blessed opportunities for faith formation. See, I'm not interested in a pretty covenant with all the right words that sits dusty on a shelf. Give me a covenant with smudge marks and coffee stains and marked out words and added words and tear stains upon it. Give me a covenant that makes us stretch for a lifetime and into the next generation. My people, it is not our 7 principles that make us Unitarian Universalist. It is our covenant among the people, within our congregation, and among the congregations in our area, in our wider association, and with the wider world. Our covenant is with the ancestors who came before, and with the people yet to come. It is the here and now. It is the transcendent. It is with our ultimate source. All that is our covenant. And so, knowing how we covenant, may we now speak together the words that we affirm and promote as members of a Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations. We honor the inherent worth and dignity of every person, practice justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. We accept one another and encourage spiritual growth. Support the freedom to search for what is true and right in life. Ensure that all have a vote about matters that concern them. Work for a peaceful, fair, and free world. And care for planet Earth, the home we share with all living things. So it is, so may it be. And we continue a meditation for the equinox, part 2 by Lori Halaban. This is the season of letting go, of lightening burdens, of being still, going deep. Pause. Breathe in, breathe out. It is the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah, and Lashana Tova to all who celebrate. May your new year be sweet and filled with blessings. Pause. As you breathe in relatively clean air, breathe out a prayer for those in the West choking on smoke and ash. May they be well. Pause. Breathe in the intention to vote with your UU values on behalf of all who are unable to do so because they are clinging to life on a ventilator, on behalf of 200,000 in this country who have perished from COVID-19. Breathe out both lamentation and gratitude and resolve. Pause. And consider the binaries of dark and light, hot and cold, chaos and order. Neither extreme is inherently good or inherently bad. It is all a matter of balance, of honoring the spectrum for which binaries mark the endpoints. Today we mark a midpoint between summer and winter solstice, a time to seek balance and be free. Blessed be. As we hear our centering music, if you have joys or sorrows to share, which you would like lifted up in prayer, please type them in the chat bar at this time. Our centering music is a meditation on breathing. And it comes to us from the First Unitarian Society of Denver, Colorado.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I'll breathe out. When I breathe in, I'll breathe out. When I breathe in, breathe out loud. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out loud. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out loud. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out loud. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out loud. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out loud. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out loud. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out loud.
This is the time in our service when we hold one another in community, gathered to share the sorrows and joys, gratitudes, the mixed blessings of our lives. So let us join hearts and minds together in a spirit of prayer. Blessed Spirit of life and of love, be with us in this time. We gather to share in community all the milestones of our living. We hold gratitude for the life of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, sadness for her passing, care for her family, and for all those who her life, personal and at work, touched and changed. She held a heavy burden and a great deal of responsibility. May she and her family be at peace. And may we find courage and fortitude and all the strength to sustain one another as we shoulder those burdens that we had placed upon her. Closer to home, may we hold in care those members of our own community who are suffering or ill or burdened with worries. May we hold in care Josiah Gromley, who has been struggling with health issues recently and could use some extra love and hope and support. May we hold great gratitude that Nana's Aunt Lois seems to be healing and doing better. May we hold in care Pauline Sims, whose granddaughter was recently diagnosed with COVID. We hold in hope that this may be a mild case, that she may be well supported and well cared for. May we offer as well our healing energy, our love and light to Patricia Kenworthy, who recently had back surgery and is currently in the hospital. And gratitude that Faye and Don's friend is in her second week of outpatient treatment and seems to be doing well. And beyond all those cares that are so close to us, we know that the greater state of our country and our world is burdensome for many. May we hold in gratitude all those who are doing good work with UU the Vote, with Fair Elections PA, and with many more organizations working to make sure that democracy may grow and thrive once more. We hold one another's hearts tenderly, for it is tough to live in a country with such division. It is hard to be a strong voice for your values when confronted with anger and disbelief. May we offer to one another our strength, our support. And may we always know that behind us and around us are ancestors and all those who share in this faith, propelling us forward and giving their thanks that you are one of the many working to make this world better and better every day. May we rest in that knowledge that each of us is held, that each of us does our part, and that it shall, in the fullness of time, be enough. So for the blessings of our lives, may we be grateful for the beauty of the earth, the turning of the seasons, the flowing gift of life. May we give thanks. For all fragile hearts and tender sorrows, may we find comfort and strength enough to go on. May our hearts be healed, and may we be filled with peace. Amen, and blessed be. And our offering today, as always, supports the work within and beyond this congregation. This month, we offer a portion of our plate to UU the Vote, a group working on our 5th and 6th principal values to build a world in which there is peace and freedom and justice for every person, and to make sure that every person has a voice and a vote in the matters that concern them. So as you give this Sunday and again next Sunday, please recall the work of UU the Vote and give generously to make sure that our democratic systems are strengthened and supported with all the force that we can muster.
Blessed be the gifts, blessed be the gifts, the ones we give and those that you reveal. Help us use our gifts, our varied simple gifts, to show our love and help our world to heal. Revive our tired minds, make our hearts more just and kind. Give us souls that rally to the task. Fight for justice, help us teach, help us act and care and reach out to others with a hand for them to clasp.
To reap and to sow, to harvest and grow. Each thing that happens in the turning of the seasons requires that the thing before happen, and back and back and back in the ever-turning cycles of our lives. At the turning point of the spring equinox, we went virtual. We found ourselves suddenly online, suddenly far apart from one another, socially and physically distancing to keep one another safe. In those days of lengthening hours and warming temperatures, on the balance point, we found ourselves teetering. The feelings of being shut in, the blessings of solitude, the worries of all that was happening, the unexpected peacefulness sometimes of being suddenly in a world with fewer obligations, with less busyness. And so it was in that equinox, as we teetered and tilted back and forth, trying to manage all of our emotional space, all of our spiritual selves, trying to figure out what it even was that was happening. And still, we welcomed the summer. The days grew warm. We went outside. And now here we are, some returning to school, many returning to work, some wondering what happens next. Many feeling gaslit, feeling that we are being told that things are okay, that we can stay open, that wearing a mask is a personal choice. We are still not in a stable balance point. Too many things are in flux. And yet, even as we find ourselves teetering, isn't it always the way? The horse runs away, a stampede of wild horses come through town, or an army, a plague, or a flood, a fire, and all the smoke that comes with. We teeter on the balance point. And in the pagan tradition, this is why the equinox is an important moment. It marks a pause. Those balance points are never a place of stability, but a moment to breathe in, to breathe out, to reflect, and to reawaken, finding a new point in the cycle, a new alignment. We have sown our seeds. Now it is time to reap, to harvest, to build abundance from what we have learned. This is not an end point. Nothing is over. It is a balance point, which we mark as we change a focus, as we renew our commitments. So at this moment, we welcome the harvest time and the bringing of abundant gifts. And we think about what we have learned. Perhaps we have learned something about spaciousness and busyness. What did it feel like to let go of so many obligations that could not be fulfilled back in March and April? Perhaps we learned something about our needs. Suddenly, internet was not a nice thing, but a necessary one, a utility, not a luxury. What have we been learning, laid bare in this time of coronavirus, about disparities in healthcare? Black and brown children are more likely to die of coronavirus than white children for oh so many reasons. What are we learning about our society? As we sow, so shall we reap. So this is the time not to hibernate or to cease believing that Black Lives Matter, not to put away our summertime frolic and hibernate, but to renew our commitments and our focus, to reap those lessons that we have been learning, to harvest the blessings of time. Winter is the time to fix what was broken, perhaps, in the busy time of the planting season, with no time to stay indoors. For us, this will be a time to reflect not only on our country, but on our congregation, our mission, and our needs. Our board has been beginning to lean into this work, looking toward a winter in which we will once again be committing to our vision and our mission, understanding who we are and who we want to be. We will once again recovenant and come awake to all the possibility for the future. In planting, tending, and weeding, we have grown a garden, a community, not of plants, but of people who support one another. And now we pause and reflect. What shall we plant next? What should grow and thrive? Out of all that has happened, will it be a blessing or a hardship? It might be either. Like our folktale, we don't know until it is done, and maybe so, and maybe no. Who can tell what will come out of this? But we do know that we are not a people of randomness or of happenstance. We are a people of covenant and of intention. And so we shall invite the Spirit to be with us and in us. We shall invoke our breath and our inner light and listen for that small voice within. And again, we shall awaken once more. Waken our senses to see, to hear, to feel, and be moved by what we notice. We shall awaken ourselves once more to meaningful living with purpose and courage. This is always our covenant with ourselves and with one another, to be inspired and to inspire, to be cared for and to care for one another, and to act, never to fail in our responsibility, to inspire, care, and act is the mission of the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Indiana, Pennsylvania. Inspired by our values, we commit once again to be with one another. Thus do we renew ourselves for the year ahead. Blessed be. And our closing song is I Am Light by India Irie. You are welcome to sing along as you feel moved.
the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am.
Our closing words come from May Sarton. Now, Voyager, lay here your dazzled head. Come back to earth from air, be nourished. Not with that light on light, but with this bread. Here close to earth, be challenged, mortal heart. Hold your way deep as roots push rocks apart. Bring the spurt of green up from the dark. Where music thundered, let the mind be still. Where the will triumphed, let there be no will. What light revealed, now let the dark fulfill. Here close to earth, the deeper pulse is filled. Here where no wings rush, and no sudden bird, but only heartbeat upon beat is heard. Here let the fiery burden all be spilled, the passionate voice at last be calmed and stilled. And in the long yearning of the blood fulfilled, now Voyager, come home to rest. Here on the long lost country of Earth's breast, lay down the fiery vision and be blessed. Be blessed. And with that, we extinguish our chalice flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go in peace and in love. May your week be filled with holiness and with peace. And if you are from Ligonier, go ahead and type Ligonier into your chat bar so I know who goes into which breakout rooms. Thank you all so much for being with us today.